One of the cool new features in vSphere 5.1 is when using a NFS-based data store, there's a new fast clone capability, which hardware accelerates, creating snapshots. What we're going to illustrate is how this works in VMware View and in vCloud Director use cases. So what we're going to do here is logging into VMware View 5.1, we're going to create a new pool. When we create a pool, we're going to use a naming pattern. We're saying there can be 2,000 desktops within that pool, and we're going to provision them on demand. Normal kind of steps that should be relatively familiar for folks. Again, there's some new capabilities and features and functions in there, but we'll skip those for now. So again, we're just doing the basic setup to be able to say, where are the default VMs, where are we putting folders, what clusters to put things on. Again, all relatively straightforward. So we're going to select a NAS data store. This is running on a VNX platform. And you'll notice that there's a new option to use native NFS snapshots. So this is the VAAI call that will use the array-based snapshots to hardware accelerate these types of functions. So now what we've done is we've started to create some VMs. And you can see that the first one actually creates a base replica, so a file-based snap inside the VNX of the base replica. And if you take a look, you can see that it's called the EMC NAS plugin, and it's created a snapshot. Now, all of the other snaps are in essence a snap of a snap, and you can see that very rapidly those get deployed. So there's a benefit in terms of acceleration of operations when you're using the NFS VAAI Fast Clone capability. So you can see here that these are normal VMs from the view standpoint. And if we take a look at the array level file details, you can see that there's all of the relationships between a file version, and then a file version with a branch snap. This is basically that at the snap of snap capability, which again is occurring not at a data store level but at a file level. So we're able to do VM level hardware accelerated snapshots. All of these individual desktops are being based off of those base replicas. So that's pretty cool, and highlights one of the use cases for the new NFS Fast Copy capability. Which again depends on the NFS server, in this case the VNX, being able to support snap of snap capabilities. By the way, this is also possible on the EMC Isilon for our customers who are looking for scale out NAS capability. Cool stuff. Now, the second use case, again, we can see, increasingly, by the way, if we just take a look, you can see that each one of these has got multiple files, delta files, base files. And again, we're just showing the underlying representation within the underlying file system. Of course, you'd never see this unless you really wanted to. You could manage the whole thing from within the View Manager, which is great. So the second use case is the vCloud Director use case. So here we've got the next version of vCloud Director, and we're going to show how it can leverage these NFS-based snapshots. So if we go in and we take a look, we've got an org deployed, and that org has got a data store and data store clusters. Again, really cool feature. Now you can use data store clusters and use SDRS with vCloud Director, which is great, using the latest version of vCloud Director. And as I go into this environment, we're going to go and we're going to say out of this catalog, we've got a series of vApp templates that we're going to create. In fact, we'll import one here. So we're going to pick this Windows 8 vApp. So we'll say this is a server image, and we'll go and we'll say we can use this template for subsequent deployment. So off it goes, and it's being imported here. And if you go into the vCenter UI, now one thing to note is we're actually using the release candidate here. In the GA code, of course, you're going to use the web client. But if we go and we take a look, functionally it's the same, whether it's the web client or the VI client. Again, in the GA code, the web client is really the way to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that individual vApp and we'll add it to an individual cloud. We're going to deploy it. Okay, great. And now that it's been deployed, we could log in as a tenant. and we could go and we could actually deploy it manually. What we're going to do here is we're just logging in as the admin, and we're basically just rapidly creating a few of these. Again, the users could go in and create their own demand. But the point that we're trying to illustrate here is that the same mechanism for NFS fast copies of VMs, which is a hardware accelerated mechanism where the NFS server is the one that does the snapshots and creating file versions in effect, is the same model that you saw in the View instance. So interesting stuff. Just like VAAI has been historically, it'll be very interesting to see customer feedback on this. So as this capability is now launched at VMworld, it is supported on the VNX INIO platform. So the currently GA version of the code for our VNX customers, the VNX operating environment version 32 is the official name for it. And it is also supported on the upcoming Isilon Mavericks code-named release. So that's right around the corner, and we'll be showing that at VMworld too. Thanks, and I hope you think this is as cool as I do.